Today I'll be trying to persuade my audience why college athletes should be paid. Have you seen like Alabama, Clemson, the big powerhouses, Kentucky, Kansas, all of them? You ever wonder why all the athletes leave early? Well, one of the reasons why I think they leave early is because they don't have enough time to get a job, so they don't have money, and they come from low-income families, so they don't have like a lot of money to spend after all this stuff. And people are always saying that like they're on full scholarship, so they should have money, but it's because they don't have time to get a job. It's hard to get money.
First, that's a different line. That's the average hours for a week for a Division I team just for sports. You see, football has 43. Men's basketball has 39. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, there it is.
They're already working 90-hour jobs basically because you got football, you got 43 hours of just team practice, and you got 8-hour classes. 8 full hours of classes each week. So it adds up to like 90 hours a week. And then
I was gonna show this video. How do you play it? Just play.
Great question. I really appreciate that question. No, I don't think college athletes are given enough time to really take advantage of the free education that they're given. And it's frustrating because a lot of people say, get upset with student athletes and say that they're not focused on school and they're not taking advantage of the opportunity they're given. I would love for a regular student to have a student athlete scheduled during the season for just one quarter or one semester and show me how you balance that. Show me how you would schedule your classes when you can't schedule classes from 2 to 6 o'clock on any given day. Show me how you're gonna get all your work done when after you get out at 7:30 or so, you got to test the next day, and you're dead tired from practice, and you still have to study just as hard as everybody else every day and get all the same work done. Most of these kids are done with school, done with class by 3 o'clock. You got the rest of the day to do as you please. And you're sitting here, you may excuse me, you may spend a few hours studying, then you may spend a few hours at the library checking out books and just doing casual reading. Then you may go hang out with friends and have coffee. And when you're a student athlete, you don't have that kind of time. You wake up in the morning, you have weights at this time. Then after weights, you go to class. And after class, you go maybe try to grab you a quick bite to eat. Then after you get your quick bite to eat, you go straight to the meetings. And after meetings, you got practice. And after practice, you got to try to get all the work done you had throughout the day. You got from your lectures and from your focus groups. And those aren't the things that people focus on when talking about student athletes. They're upset when a student athlete says they need a little cash. Well, I can tell you from experience, I had negative $40 in my account, and usually my account was in a negative more times than it was in a positive. You got to make decisions on whether you get gas for your car or whether you get the meal for the day. You got one of the two choices. And people think, oh, you're on scholarship. They pay for your room and board, they pay for your education, but to their knowledge, you're there to play football. You're not on scholarship for school. And it sounds crazy when a student athlete says that, but those are the things coaches tell them every day. You're not on scholarship for school. And luckily I was blessed to go to Stanford and a school that was primarily focused on academics. So it was a blessing. It was a little bit better. But as Jim Harbaugh would attest, we were also there for football. But there were still guys like Andrew who majored in engineering. Incredibly tough role to take when you're football, because a lot of the classes conflict with your time as a football player. You have an engineering class from 2 to 3:30. There's no way you can do both. You can't go to meetings and take your engineering class from 2 to 3:30. So what do you do? What do? Do you switch your major, or do you tell your coach, hey, I got an engineering class from 2 to 3:30 and I have to go to that? That's conflict of interest. That's what people don't realize. But it's not something that hurts the bottom line in a lot of people's lives, so I don't think it'll be something that'll be addressed, but I appreciate the question.
There we go.
It's out of order on my outline, but
The second reason I have is that 2 very good video games have been ended by it because the college athletes want to be paid, and the NCAA doesn't allow them to be paid, but they're allowed to make money off of them by putting them in video games and using the likeliness of them. They actually reached a settlement that was $60 million, and they ended up paying each player a certain amount for every year they're in the game. So like if you're in the game for like 4 years, you got like $1,500, but it doesn't matter if you're a star or the long snapper or something like that. Those are the video games. Third reason is that the university makes enough money itself, so it doesn't like worry about it's going to cost a lot of money to pay them because they really make money, and it doesn't even go to the academic side of the university. It goes to the athletics, it goes to the facilities, it goes to coaches to make the program better. That's the top 10 like sports revenues for all sports. And the NCAA says that they're not allowed to be paid, but every single high person in the NCAA, like CEOs and all that stuff, they make over $1 to $2 million a year, but they have all the rules that say if college athletes should be paid or not. Those are TV revenues for all the major conferences in the D1 sports. This is one thing that stood out to me. The NCAA March Madness makes more money than any other national football, NBA. It makes more money than any of the finals that they have. Like the Super Bowl makes more money than that, and that's impressive. And then the last reason I have is when your sports teams are good, it increases your application for each year. Like at Boston College, when Doug Flutie was there in 1984, they did the Hail Mary. It's like one of the greatest games ever. And the next 3 years, applications rose 16% more than the years before that. And from 1983 to 1985, it rose from 28%. And from like my personal experience, I know our valedictorian, he chose Alabama because he would rather have a great college experience and get a decent degree than go work his tail off and not knowing what he's going to do the rest of his life. And that's the Flutie effect. And I just wanted to say I've give you 5 reasons why college athletes should be paid, and I think that you should like understand like why they should be paid and all that stuff. So.